Big races coming up here in January and February as indoor racing gets going. I know a lot of you are watching the Tulsa Shootout right now. Of course, the Chili Bowl will be coming up very soon. But for those of us in the Northeast, the Indoor Racing Championship is coming soon, January 6th and 7th. They'll be indoors at Allentown on the asphalt or concrete, whatever you want to call it. Atlantic City on the 27th and 28th. Then they go indoors for a little dirt racing in Trenton, New Jersey. Lenny Salmon's, of course, promoting those. One of the guys who is always at these events is our good friend Scott Kreutter. He is 36 years old. He is the owner of IndyCart Raceway. That's over at Marketplace Mall. And with the kids off this week, I understand he's been very, very busy. 8 races total last year. He won a micro sprint race out at Wheatsport. Man, I saw you just a little while ago, Scott. How we doing, man?
Good. How are you, Doug?
Doing very well. Now, he's out in Buffalo, actually South Buffalo. Before we get to the race and stuff, did you guys get slammed again in the snowstorm this time?
Yeah, we got about 2 feet, but I wasn't quite in the very blizzardy, windy part. It was still windy and yucky, but we weren't as bad as it was by the airport or near downtown Buffalo.
Well, I remember
we were all right.
In November we had another storm. You said you did get the brunt of it on that one.
Yeah, that one we got about a little over 5 feet on that one.
Wow! And you weren't even home, you told me?
No, I actually flew out the morning of the storm. I had to go to Florida for a trade show, and my wife, she was home for, I think I flew out Friday, and I got home Monday morning, and when I got it started when I was leaving, and it was done when I got back, but she managed, and it wasn't good timing, but we all got through it.
And you got home okay?
Yeah. Luckily, that was one thing I was hoping. I really wasn't getting stuck. Florida's not a bad place to get stuck, but I wanted to get home, miss my little guy.
So no pictures from the pool to your wife, huh? You didn't want to rub
Negative.
it in.
No,
right?
no, we did not share any pictures of Florida.
That's right. And all these people now in Florida who are showing all your pictures while we're up here getting the snow, we'll share our pictures when you're getting the next hurricane. That sounds about right, doesn't it, Scott? We got to get them back,
yep.
Right? Nice picture, by the way, the one you're looking at. That was from the championship at Syracuse in 2021. So got to be a little bit more than excited to get back behind the wheel again.
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to trying to pick up a couple wins this season. Last year we had some top fives. I think we had a call I think we might have had one podium, but we were always inside the top five. In Atlantic City, we were running second with 4 or 5 laps to go on the restart, and just got kind of hung out on the outside and fell back into fifth. But it's sometimes it's a restart game. If you're stuck on the outside,
True.
If you can't beat or sneak into the, get back on the bottom, you might get shuffled back a bit. And if you're out of laps, there's nothing really can do.
Yeah, really. And I've seen that happen so many times. The guy in second place restarts out of the outside. 2 laps later, he's fifth. It's just kind of the luck of the draw to some degree, isn't it?
Yeah, and Lenny, they do a great job with the racing surface. There's times where the bottom actually isn't the place to be. In Syracuse, the outside was the place to be, and while we were racing, I was running the outside, and I was leading the race. Caution came out, and I wasn't good on the bottom at all, and I took the outside groove. On the restart, I started outside pole, and indoor racing, it's so tight. The guy on the inside didn't do anything wrong, but we bumped wheels, and it bumped me outside the groove, and I lost a bunch of spots and had to make it all back up. But my car owner Trey, he said, 4 wheels turn better than 2, or if 8 wheels turn better than 4.
It's
so
true.
Take the inside, and if you don't want to use the guy on the outside up, but the guy on the outside will help you turn.
Yeah, can't do that in sprint car racing, though, can you?
No, that you can. And I mean, the TQs are still open wheel racing, so you gotta be careful. You gotta be really aggressive, but at the same time, not use your stuff up. You gotta be able to finish.
Yeah, eight tires in sprint car racing means 8 tires flipping through the air a lot of times. So
yeah, that is not good. You don't want to catch a wheel.
How different are these first 2 races, Allentown and Atlantic City? I've talked to enough of you guys to know that they're not exactly the same, are they?
No, Atlantic City's a lot is bigger. It's just like a whole different atmosphere. The haulers are all parked inside.
Oh.
Atlantic City, it's a really good time. Everybody stays at the casinos and hangs out. You're there for pretty much 3 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Allentown will get there Thursday, park the hauler, at the staging area, wake up Friday morning, and then do practice Friday, time trial, and then go into, I think they have either triple 20s or twin 20s. Not sure how they're doing it this year, but Atlantic City it's a little bit longer, a little bit bigger of a show.
Okay, and of course Atlantic City, you can lose money other ways than on the racetrack, so you got to be careful, don't you?
Yes. Yep.
So what's the deal? Because out of all the three, the one I'd really like to see is the indoor dirt race. Do we use the same car, or is this a different car that we use for when we switch to dirt?
Nope. It's a Dirt 600 micro for that race.
Oh, they're 600 micros.
This year.
Okay.
Yep. Dirt 600 micros for the Trenton race. They actually in Atlantic City this year. I'm not sure if they're doing it in Allentown, but Atlantic City they're actually having a Dirt 600 class on the concrete. They had it a while ago, and they had a ton of cars for it, but people were getting really creative, kind of pushing the limits a little too far and making their cars specific to asphalt cars.
Yeah.
So they did away with it, but they're bringing it back, and I think they'll have a really good turnout, and so be kind of excited to see how many cars show up for that.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much that happens. I remember when they ran dirt modifieds at Albany Saratoga a few years ago, same thing happened then. When Glenn Donnelly had his dirt asphalt series, same thing happened then. I mean, you can't blame the people for trying to get creative, can you?
Exactly. So as long as they have a good rules package, it'll be fine. I mean, I think I watched some YouTube videos of it, and I think I ran there when they were running them, and they put on a pretty good show.
So you haven't done this dirt show in Trenton before then?
I did. I actually I've done it 3 times. First time we blew up.
Oops.
And then hold on one second.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, this happens every now and then when we do these phone interviews. Daddy's on the phone, so somebody comes in to say hi, and it's just how it goes at that point.
Absolutely, my future little race car driver misses me.
Oh, okay. And which one is this? Your younger or your older child?
I only have one.
Oh, I thought you had
He
2.
is
Okay, I'm
born
sorry.
in January.
Gotcha. So he wanted to come in.
When he gets a little older, he can celebrate his birthday in Atlantic City.
There you go. And, of course, so we'll give him some laps on the IndyCart Raceway track, too, to get him ready.
Yeah, I already customized the cart for him. He's already turning laps.
Oh, really? It's already happening. Okay. Yep. Little does he know.
It's already happening. He's obsessed.
All right. Back to the dirt stuff. Sorry
I'm
about that.
I'm gonna be having to give up the seat here shortly.
Yeah, you only got about another 10, 12 years, something like that, maybe, and then that'll be it, right? So.
Well, I'm not gonna quite hang it up yet, but he'll be running. I'm gonna get him out racing next year.
Well, there's not many sports that you can actually race against your child and have it be somewhat equal too. I mean, is that something you're looking forward to?
Say that again.
There's few sports where you could actually compete against your child. Is that something you might entertain doing?
Oh, absolutely. I think once he's old enough to run micro sprints, I'll probably keep my big car and just run some bigger shows, and then kind of, when I go to the track with him with his micro, race with him, and even if it's not in the same class, at least we'll be there doing it together.
I know about 2 minutes left to see. The time goes so fast. Obviously, got to be excited about the race with the micro because you won a race at Weedsport this year.
Yeah, yep. And I back to before we got interrupted.
Yeah.
I have raced the Trenton race. First time there, we blew up before we even got in the building. Had a motor issue, was an oil pickup problem, so we didn't run. And then the next year, we went back with a different car, and we ended up we were running up front in the qualifier, and on the last lap, we got spun and ended up going into being in the front of a B or being locked into the A to being in the E main.
Oh,
and I made it from the E to the A and got up to 5th in the A at one point.
I remember hearing that now that you mentioned it at the time because I think it was like the first time anybody went from the E to the A, right?
Yes, in that race. Yep.
Yeah, because
that was cool. And then so I'm really looking forward to getting back there this year. I got a little bit more wingless experience now.
Nice. And under a minute now. How much dirt stuff are we going to be doing on the outside rather than indoors this year?
As much as I can, honestly. I probably run up in Canada a lot now that I can get back up to Ashweek, I really like it there. We won the Nationals, so plan on going up there. I'll race with ESS and probably race with SOS. The SOS stuff in Ashweekend is actually pretty close to being in Buffalo by the border here. It's not bad.
Oh, I didn't know that. There, so. Oh, okay. And right before this, I aired an interview with Glenn Stiers, too, so he could tell you about some changes that are done from Ashweekend since back before the pandemic. I wish you all the best. Maybe we'll chat again here in a couple of weeks and we can talk about a win, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it, Doug.
And again, make sure to check out IndyCart Raceway in Marketplace Mall. Tell Scott we sent you and they'll give you a special deal. Hit the Blue E, hit the likes, all that good stuff, as we're doing a lot of things here in the studio.